This poor car, I break it twice in this episode. God. I love this big pile of shit. For those of you that don't know, this is my 1970 Dodge Charger special ordered 383 4-speed car. I picked this car up out of Minnesota pretty much from its hometown. The car never really left the area that it was sold brand new at, and it came with the sales paperwork. So we were able to know what the original owner ordered with this car. The F8 green, the hardtop, the 4-speed, the tick-tock tack, the buddy seat. He even ordered it with power disc brakes, factory rally wheels. It is a cool freaking car. And it's also extremely rusty. So in prior episodes on this car, you saw me replace the left front frame rail, fix the floor, put a whole new torsion support in it, and we kind of goobered up the rear clip just so it would function. Oh yeah, and it has lots of sheet metal rust too. And there, and there, and there's, and the main course, the frame rail delete option. No, the original owner didn't purchase it with that option. That was acquired, that was earned, because this thing was driven, it was used, it was not trailered or parked. It was driven most of its life up until the day it was parked, which was probably around the same day I was born, because it was in the same year. This car was sitting since 1985. Oh yeah, we put lead in the back to try and make up for what we were missing, because we were drag racing this thing. What do you take when you got a major pile of junk that could fall apart? Well, you warn the people and then you race it. So you got your ass covered. Now the initial goal with this thing was to try and get a 13.3 at Tucson Raceway in Arizona. But we failed. I broke it. The camshaft broke. It now has a stock replacement Mopar 6-pack camshaft in it. So like stage 0.5 bigger than the actual factory cam. It's still only a 450 lift cam, 214 duration. So it has a 6-pack cam in it, factory 6-pack cam with 1.6 rockers on it. The only reason we did 1.6 is because the rockers were clapped out and I was trying to save money and only buy one set that I can use later. So as for engine, bone stock with 6-pack cam, 1.6 rockers, and some $40 marketplace headers. As you can tell, they are quite beautiful and dinged and dented up everywhere. But the engine itself is stock other than cam and rockers and, well, marketplace $40 headers. We then took it to the street spot to try and get that 13.3, and I got so freaking close. I ran a 13.41, but the tires were shit. And so what do you do when you have shit tires? Well, we went down on gear to a 391 instead of the 430 because I was trying to think in advance. If I end up putting a gear vendors on this with a 391, it will be drivable. 430s with the gear vendors, still not that great on the highway. So it has has 391s in it, and guess what? The tires were so shit last time. We got some new meats this time. We got some Mickey Thompson 275 60-15s. Now I actually was, I screwed up. I should have got 275 50-15s, but I screwed up and got 60-15s. So that is not going to help our gear ratio factor. But I also got some more assistance to try and make this car better this time. You remember these itty bitty teeny weeny donut tires that I had on this thing that were super small? They looked like low profile rubber band tires. Well, the front end needed to get raised up to help with weight transfer. So I ditched those and I got some cheapo Volkswagen tires. These are much taller. These are 165/80 15s versus the 125/80 15s. Check out the difference. It's kind of hard to see the height the way the car is sitting right now. So look, I have the front of the tire flush with my hand. They are, well, hold on. Let's get this to where it's pretty darn close. So that's pretty much flush. Look at the back. See how much taller that tire is? That's like 3 inches taller. So we just gained 1.5 inches of ride height in the front by ditching the pie cutters. Bye-bye. But that's not all. I've also got a few other little trickery magician things that we're going to do to the rear suspension to get this thing to dig. I want to dump the clutch at 5,000 RPM, which is damn near red line for the stock motor. Dump it at 5,000, let the sucker eat, scoot, and boogie, and get that, I'm hoping, my 13.3 back. But if I can crack a 12.99, I will be ecstatic. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Do I want it to happen? Yes. I need to get the car on some concrete though. I don't want to put it right there because it's going to gridlock the backyard just in case I have to let it sit overnight or a day or two. So I think I freed up some space in the backyard on an even smaller concrete pad because we're going to do a little bit of fab work and cutting and slicing and dicing and welding. Let's go ahead and get this guy fired up and get it over to the spot so we can start doing our magicianry. Is that a word? Magicianry? Magicianry? Magician work. Sounds boring, but I'll do magician work. Man, you can see all the way down that rocker. Mint. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, there ain't a damn thing salvageable on the bottom side of this car. It is El Junko, the entire rear clip. Wasted. It's a good thing that Alan gave me an entire donor rear clip for when I actually do put that on this car. But for right now, we're going to make it faster with what we got, which is ungooder. Ugh. Get the shocks out of my way. They are not part of my plan. Also, to complete my ingenious plan, I need to remove the slapper bars. Well, for my ingenious plan, I only had to buy 2 parts actually. leaf spring sliders and wedge shims for the leaf spring pad. This is what the axle will sit on when it sits on the leaf spring. And if you notice, it's fat on one end, skinny on the other. So what that is going to do is add pinion angle, which is going to give more drive. But see, this is a little excessive. This is 4 degrees. Let me explain why. I'll get to this back in a second too. So we're going to lower the car a little bit in the ass end. We're going to lift the front end up. We're going to lower the ass end a little bit, just so I can get that cool look of tucking the tire, but also I'm getting more drive. Let me explain how. Now I'm going to get you back into my circle track days. If I'm coming out of a corner and I hammer down and the car is loose and I'm having to fishtail it, dirt track it up to the wall, instead of just planting my foot and the car just driving off the corner and getting all that forward drive that I want, well, one way I could fix that on the circle track is if we just imagine this as a trailing arm instead of a leaf spring, well, we just raise the front pickup point, because what that does is it puts more angle in the trailing arm. And as the rear tire is trying to push forward, you know, accelerating the car, well, it's going to be pushing on that trailing arm. That trailing arm is the driving force on the chassis. Well, when it has angle in it, when it pushes forward, it's also going to try and lift the body at the same time, which puts drive and weight on that tire, puts a lot more force on it. So you can accomplish the same thing with leaf springs. It's not as effective, but it does help by raising the front leaf spring mount. So we're going to take our factory rusty hanger here, see how much of it we can salvage by unbolting it, because again, it's rusty. See if we can salvage it. And we're going to unbolt our bushing here. We're going to flip it around. We're going to oblong the holes, shove it back in, because the bolt pattern is like, I want to say it's like an 1/8 inch different from top to bottom. It's not much at all, maybe a 1/4 inch total. So if you oblong the holes, well, then you can take that front hanger bracket and flip it upside down, back and forth, whatever, any way you want. So, but flipping that upside down, that's going to raise this guy to, I can't remember if it was 1 or, I believe it was almost 2 inches. I think it's 1 3/4 inches. I believe it was 1 3/4 inches, but I could be wrong. I've done it on several other cars. But see, there's some negative effects to that. That is where the shims come into effect. Those wedge shims I showed you. Well, if we're taking the axle, if we raise this up, which is basically like going like this, well, because the axle is fixed to the leaf spring, when you raise the front, it also takes the axle and does this with it. Well, which means it's going to take our pinion angle and go up with it, which takes drive away. So to counter the leaf spring being arched, to counter that, we put those wedge shims in there, which a 2-degree shim would put it back to stock. But since we're trying to go for a little bit more drive, we're going to put an extra 2 degrees in it and get a lot more pinion angle out of it and some more force that helps lift the body. All right, here is our shackle. This is what we're going to be eliminating and replacing with a slider. Watch this. See how this moves as the suspension's going down? Well, that's what it would be doing when I apply power to the rear tires. The axle is trying to rotate like this, which then wants to lift the front of the body. Well, the back of the leaf spring, we need to have it move as freely as possible. And with this being all rusty, crusty, and the bushings dry, and just everything garbage, and plus these don't move as free as these guys. These move nice and free, and it's linear. So this isn't going to change the height of the car at all. Because believe it or not, when this does its swing like this, well, that's raising and lowering the eyelet of the spring. Well, this is linear. It can go back and forth without changing the height of the spring. Another trick I had learned in dirt track racing, my dad's dirt car, is I needed more drive, again, coming out of the hole, because that's where all the winning happens, is coming out of the hole, even in circle track. Well, one guy told me, hey, cut these bands off. That will allow you, when you throttle up, And that left rear, like we were only doing it to the left rear. We didn't do it to the right rear because we didn't want that side to have as much dig as the left rear. So we cut these off of the left rear, and when I throttle up and that leaf spring tries to arch, well, that allows each individual leaf spring to fan out. So they'll fan out and allow the front to lift more. Because if you clamp them together, well, when the front goes up and these are clamped, they will not fan out, allowing more drive. So by cutting these guys off, we get more out of the hole, which is what we're looking for. And by putting sliders on there and cutting those bands off and flipping the front hangers, this thing should just freaking dig, man. Well, now seeing how none of this or that is going to actually unbolt, we're just gonna cut this crap off. Okay, so this is what I mean by having the rear suspension move as free as possible. Look at that shackle bushing. I cannot rotate that. Look at this. Launch. So this thing will not rotate. It's like a freaking shifter. That thing is spring loaded. Will not move. Now look at this. Boop, boop, boop. See that motion? Free. There's no way in hell that these nuts are gonna unthread from these U-bolts. I've been here too many times. I'm just gonna go ahead and eliminate these guys with the death wheel. That's the fastest way to remove them. Listen for the pow, pow! Boing! Oh, there it goes. All right. Yeah, this is the part when you want to try and be delicate to the hardware so you can save the studs. By heating them up, it usually breaks the rust bond and they will come off. And trust me, if I can get the hardware off of this one, most likely you can get the ones off yours too. If it's worse than this car, yeah, let me rephrase that. If you're driving something worse than this car, maybe you need to rethink your car a little bit. Is probably not going to come out of there.
Let's see, if you're going to cut these guys off.
The sleeve inside that bushing is so bonded to the bolt. Trying to press it out, look, it tweaked the bracket. Way to go, Dave.
There goes nothing.
You put my goggle nose on. Safety first, kids.
Should be at least in the top 3.
Yeah. As I'm making a car that is literally has no frame rails faster.
Is this gonna work? I don't know. Good. Give it a few whacks with this. Wow.
Fire.
350, 370. So
I could just buy the right bushings, but we're gonna machine the right bushings because I have these.
Can you buy them on Saturday night at 8:19 at night?
No, Amazon will not have them here in the morning.
All right.
And I want to go racing in the morning, or tomorrow at least.
So we're gonna do the wrong thing the right way.
I don't know. It's not the wrong thing.
Let's see. We want to be. If I showed you how I do this, so I don't have to do math. I put it where I want to end up, and then I measure it, and it tells me I have to take 86 thousandths off. Let it do math for me.
It's like watching a tire start to shred on the road.
Yeah, and the fact that we're relying on the friction of that to that sleeve is actually pretty good. That it's doing it.
Another day to work on my 70 4-speed Charger. Last night, you saw Brick and I at Dan's Driveline modify my leaf springs. Well, not really modify, we just had a hell of a time trying to get the bushings out. So the bushings were rotted to the inner sleeve. So the bolt itself, the bolt was rotted to the inner sleeve. These is the ones that we made. These is the ones that we made. It doesn't sound right, but I'm gonna roll with it. So these is the ones that we made to replace the ones where the bolt had rotted themselves to the sleeve. And check it out. Look, I had to get another set of front leaf spring hangers because look what it did just trying to press it out. Because the bolt was so bonded to the inner sleeve, it just discombobulated and tweaked and distorted this whole leaf spring hanger. So that was at the point where I made up my mind. We're just going to cut the bolt and we're going to torch it out. And luckily I ran home and found some bushings that we modified to make work. Now I need to modify some more stuff. You remember this guy? The wedge shim, 4 degrees. Well, it has some thickness to it. And I only have so much pin showing. And when I stick this over that, there's not really a whole lot of pin showing. Not enough to, I would consider, like really securely holding the axle from shifting on the leaf spring. Because that pin is what keeps the rear axle centered in the car on both sides. So we're going to modify the pin. Yes, you can buy longer pins, but it's going to take a lot of work to get that pin out of there because it, I'm sure, is bonded to the leaf springs. I'm going to make the pin longer with some weld and then grind it all down to have a homemade longer pin. Not the right way to do it, but it will work, and I'm only looking for 1/4 inch. Well, that worked out perfect. Check it out. Good. That is proper amount of pinnage exposed. Bad. Ungooder amount of pinnage exposed. Genius, I know. So this is kind of the crappiest part of the whole thing, I think, is having to oblong the 4 bolt holes in the chassis that hold the leaf spring hanger. Yeah, those 4 bolt holes. Because there's 2 different bolt patterns, you have to oblong all 8 of them, both sides, so that way we can take this thing and flip it upside down and lower the rear end of the car. This will actually raise the leaf spring up into the body 1.25 inches, which when you suck the axle to the body, it lowers the car. So proceed to making lots of noise for a period of time and something that you're never going to see. Speaking of see, where it's a good angle that you guys will be able to see this. I think we'll just clamp you right here. Factory position. Lowered position. Ta-da! Now that the chassis has been mounted so I can flip the leaf spring hangers, I went ahead and installed my bushings. They are all lathered up. So then I can take my hanger, flip it upside down, and install it back on the leaf spring and get these guys shoved back in the car. I just noticed something pretty bad, but I'm gonna roll with it because I don't have anything to replace it at the moment. One of our leaf springs in the stack is completely broken half. Check it out, and that's not something new. See how rusty and old that crack is? That is an old brake, and it's right behind our axle. So at least it's on, if it's gonna break, at least it's broken on the better side. You know, you don't want it broke on the front side because that's where we're going to get all our lift. So if anything, that's going to make it want to have more drive because it's going to be a lot more flexible on that side. But that is ungooder. So new leaf springs will be in the list of things to do for this car for the future. But as of right now, we're just going to go have fun. And I think this car is going to do really well, especially freeing up all the bind that's in the suspension. These bushings actually rotate on the sleeve that's inside there, so it'll be a lot more articulation for the leaf spring, and with those sliders in the back, that's even more articulation. So I'm really anxious to see what this thing is going to do. Check it out. I like it when it's in the going back together stage. Well, now that my leaf springs are all installed on my axle, I can proceed to, well, grinding away rust to try and find something to weld to for these leaf spring sliders. This is going to be good. Now, the way I set up my leaf spring sliders is you do not want them to bind up or run out of travel on the compression side. So as the suspension's coming down, which I'm pulling it down, so as the leaf spring loses arch, it will want to flatten out and it will gain length. Watch. So both sides. So I always just make sure that I'm not going to run out of travel on the compression side. The downside, who gives a shit? You're never going to lift the car up that high. So just make sure you do not run out of room on the compression side, because then it will basically eliminate the leaf spring and lock the suspension up, and it's usually ungooder when it does that. End result, put the weight of the body on the sliders and compress it up and down to make sure you're not going to have any issues. And my leaf springs are damn near flattening out, which you can see the broken leaf spring. Oof, ungood. Ooh, do I have two broken? Oh, I have two broken leaf springs. What? What? I got two broken ones. Oh well, we're gonna run it as is for now. I forgot, another tip, make sure your leaf spring slider is parallel with the leaf spring, because they can articulate side to side. So when you weld it on, make sure it's in line with the leaf spring. Just have to eyeball it. Well, it's better than nothing. Well, I think that'll stay. And down. Check it out. I have like full suspension travel up and down and doesn't bottom out because I was thunking. Whoa, ho, ho, what do I have here? That is not the right size bushing that's supposed to be in there. How did that get in there? Oh, I know. Derek did this. Damn it, Derek. You didn't notice that this bushing and this bolt are two total different diameters? Let me see if I got the correct bushing. Well, we were losing about that much of controllable suspension travel. Not no more. Now we got the correct size bushing in here. Ugh. Now, is it a coincidence that the crack happened right where the slapper bar U-bolt is at? Not likely. So I probably need to make it to where it has more of a load spread on that. So like probably a flat, maybe weld a flat strap to the bottom of this U-bolt, and that will not do that no more. Probably should do that now. Okay, it's better than nothing. Yeah, I effed up. That is a major difference in tire size. Maybe I need to put the 430 gear back in it. That is going to kill our acceleration. All right, the tires may be taller, but this thing is stanced out, bro. Look, check it out. Oh, yeah. We must have lowered it. Oh. Damn it, I didn't measure before and after. That was my bad. But check it out. So much coolers. Yeah, we got the taller front tires, taller back tires, but we lowered the ass end, put some more anti-squat in it, leaf spring sliders. Oh yeah, this thing's gonna be more gooders. Oh, I really want to change the gear though, but you know what? We'll just roll with it. We'll just see what we got. Besides, with the power adders to come, might be pretty good. Uneventful. It just stuck. We'll try that again. Either the road is really sticky or this thing makes no power, which it really doesn't. I know what that sound is. I've broken several of them.
How it burned when love was new. A hot cougar with a trick or two, but now she's done. I'm feeling blue, tough shit. Found me a truck that's four-wheel drive with a cap or two and a dog named Clive. She's done, and I'm feeling it, tough shit. Tough shit. No shit. Ah, shit.
Never mind, I still have a drive shaft. No, it's not a diesel. It's not supposed to make that noise. Well, as the car sits all lonesome at the pretty much starting line because it broke instantly, I have come to the conclusion that it definitely has more bite. Enough bite to break the rear end when we never did that before. Good thing it's registered and insured and has DOT tires on it. I guess I can get a ticket for impeding traffic. Don't worry, Charger, I'm coming to save you. You call this the winch of shame. I broke it. At least I didn't break the drive shaft. I give myself a pat on the back for that one. I didn't break the drive shaft. the good news is it's not a broken axle. And yes, the drive shaft is supposed to be spinning.
Yeah, I'd say you've torn some teeth off of the pinion would be my guess.
But yeah, the spool is still spooling and the axles are still axling, so.
Well, the fact that the pinion isn't moving up and down or in and out means it's not broke. Sometimes it'll shear at the spline, but that would have that released. So you're probably missing some teeth.
Teethies?
And there's not any big dents coming out the back. Cover, if you will.
It's like the moon.
Yeah,
I didn't even get to do any ram jamming. That was just vertical. My drive shaft didn't break though.
That's good.
Yeah.
Remember, that one was used when you got
Your drive shaft passed the test.
For now. I'll grab the dead blow and we'll whack it.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Is it going already?
The pan wasn't all the way under.
Well, usually I gotta smack the thing. Here.
Yeah, it's not all metally.
That means it come apart pretty fast. Yeah. Not over time.
But no, I was telling you that the trunk extension's about to fall off.
Well, it's not shocking because in your high-speed launch, the quarter panel's wrinkled as much as the tires did. Okay, balanced?
Yeah, go down.
Come down.
Oh, there's teethage missing on my ring gear. I'm good. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Yeah.
Coming out.
There's lots of teethage missing on my gear. This must be why all the Mopar guys love the Dana 60, huh?
Yeah,
I
because
broke the case.
when those two tried to work themselves apart from one another,
Yeah.
this probably gave up first. And then you can see it ejected that side adjuster, and then the teeth just...
Yep. So then it just shoved the ring gear away from the pinion and chewed up teeth.
It's possible the teeth broke and then got wedged between the gears and then did that, but...
Oh.
So the gear side, this side of the cap takes a bunch more abuse than this side. So a lot of times you'll see like the billet caps that are available for stuff are always on the gear side because it takes all the abuse. As you can see, this is the side that's not Chris rated, and that is just that's still good.
Well, then I can add that to my wall of breakage. Save the spool, the rest is junk.
Yeah.
Bro got all of this grill knocked out.
Are you gonna tell the people about the axle button?
Oh, that we put new buttons in it?
Yeah.
Oh, Dan's Driveline donated some axle buttons?
Because tapered roller bearings are where it's at.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta come down a little bit.
No, go side.
Oh, all right. Don't lose it.
I got my hand on it. Pump her up now. Oh, okay, pump her up.
Close?
A little bit more?
Up a little more. All right, where I get? I'm coming down out of the way. That's more than capable.
I said, the more you look at this car, the worse it gets.
Because it looks good from far away.
Like from the side shot on the highway?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude, that's a bitchin' looking car. Just a little bit of rust, you know?
Like a Charger, yeah.
It is all put back together. I just want to make sure everything spins like it's supposed to be spinnings. Make sure there's no oblongings or anything. Fire in the hole. Just the correct amount of jiggles of the wiggles. Doesn't it sound way nastier than it really is?
Dude, like cams that got chopped, but your body's got flopped.
We are back for redemption. The Charger had, well, I would say it spit its guts out, but it kept its guts contained. It just got all combobulated inside the rear end. So notorious for 8 3/4, it broke the cap. And then when the cap broke, it shoved the spool to the driver's side, which then ripped all the teeth off of it. So, but in order for it to have done that, you know, we had way more traction. So I took a little bit of traction out, tiny bit, by slowing down the rate of anti-squat that the car has in the ass end. So it'll lift up slower in the back, and we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna be a little bit easier on the clutch this time, and you know, this thing doesn't make enough power. Maybe we don't even need to do a burnout. So with the stickier meats and the anti-squat that the car has, oh, I forgot. Dang it, I forgot to bring the cutoff wheel. I was gonna cut the straps off the rear leaf springs, but I don't know, maybe that's the only thing holding that one leaf spring together, so maybe it's a good thing I forgot again. Well, let's get it to the staging lane and see what this old girl can do. Voila! Let it warm up. The wifey was like, you know, you have a kid at home, and if you're gonna be driving that hunk of junk, wear a helmet. So this is the only open face helmet I have, so hopefully the Duke boys are going to assist me with speed and accelerations, and hopefully not the jumping part or the crashing part. I don't want that part. Okay, put on my 60-year-old seatbelt, if it still works. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right. Let's start the process of speed and acceleration. All right, so I'm gonna have to be a little easier on the clutch. I bet the other plugs are just dirty. So we're gonna shoot back and do that again. Hopefully the plugs will have cleaned out by then. And I know I can launch it harder now. We'll dry hop it. All right, that feels pretty good. Here we go. Best time is a 13:26, but we can do better than that. All right, now we're gonna do it at 5,000, a little bit more aggressive. over and check the numbers on this. How is that possible? I really hope that's a real number. I hope that's a real number. I hope it is. All right, so I was trying to make sense of it. You know, I ran a 1263, which is freaking awesome, but that was the worst 60 foot. So it just, I don't know, it didn't make sense. See if I can back that up on the sticky part. So I'm curious. See what happens. Here we go. All right. Yeah, that 12 was a fluke. Dang it. I was really hoping, but it is in fact false. Come on, Bo Duke. Give me 0.2 more speed. Or maybe that's all this thing's got. Flashers off. Everything's just getting heat soaked. We're running consistent 13.4s, which I can't really bitch about consistent 13.4s. We just need more power. All right, well, we've let it cool off a little bit. The weight of my sweater is gone. I'm actually gonna try and launch it at 4,000 because that was our best 60 foot ever in this car, was launching it at 4,000, letting it bog a little bit. So I'm gonna see what happens when we do that. Oh, keys. Come on, baby. Got a 1.9 60 foot to match what we had before. the 1.9 60 foot on the non-prepped track. So this thing obviously needs a little bit of wheel spin. How can we achieve this? Something's not right. Yeah, I hear some rocker noise. So while it is still mobile, let's get it loaded up. Yeah, I think we're blowing up. Yeah. Oh crap. Yeah, we have no oil pressure. So we're done.
Mr. Fabulous.
I'm the greatest.
I've heard that before.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a really fast pass that I believe to be a glitch, and then I have my best pass ever that I think is real.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And those are what?
1263
Yeah.
and 1323.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're believing the 1323?
Oh no, I believe the 1263.
Well, of course you do. What the fuck am I saying? Fuck. Shit. It's my mistake.
Yeah. This is Enlow Slayer number 5 you're talking about here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, like I've told you numerous times, one of these days you'll wake up from your dream. Yeah. So you busted your ass and thrown it back together and went out and beat on it today, then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel as bad. I actually do still have oil pressure. I forgot in the moment that the oil pressure in the car does in fact not work. But the one behind the air cleaner right there does. And I refired it up and we do have 25 pounds of oil pressure. So it's just something in the valve train is amiss. I would try and fix it right now and run another pass, but I think we got what we got. I mean, we bested our best time so far. We ran a 1323. Now, we did run a 1263, but that was a glitch because there's no way in hell this thing went from being a slower 60 foot, a slower 330 foot, but then 0.6 of a second faster than the 1323 that I was able to back up twice. So no way in hell that happened. So 1323, ladies and gentlemen, is my 70 4-speed Charger's best time. And we didn't get a better 60 foot, we matched it. We matched our best 60 foot that we've ever had. I'm thinking the reason for that is this tire is like 1.5 inches taller than the tires I had on here before. So, you know, let's just say the equivalent of our gear ratio now is like 411 versus 430, what we had with the shorter tire. So we lost a little bit of acceleration. Ooh, the body is flexing, and need to pull some of that away. The car has lots more saggage to it now, but the suspension was working on the see, look, We ran a 197 on the prepped area before. We ran a 197 on the non-prepped part of the street this time. So it's actually digging and doing a better job. And if I try and launch it on the prepped part, well, the car sticks so good, there's no wheel spin to help this little wee tired 383 going, and it just dead hooks and goes. Even launching at 5,000 RPM, it just blah. So I tried riding the clutch. I tried doing many things. It is what it is. We just need more power. But I mean, a 1323 with a stock engine other than rockers and headers, you know, is pretty damn good. And 4-speed car, pretty damn good. I don't think we would do any better at the track because the car would actually dead hook. It's actually pretty sticky out there. They were racing 2 days ago out here, so there's plenty of stickum on, well, I keep calling it track, the street. There's plenty of stickum on the street. Wait, I have another excuse. So when we ran that 197 60-foot 1341 like 2 months ago or a month ago, that was much colder outside air and lower DA. It was 1,800 feet when I did that. What we did today was 2,800 to 2,900 feet. So we have 1,000 feet of lower density air. Now, I have to give some credit to this old tired 383. It has survived all this abuse and RPMage of fury. So I'm kind of thinking the car has, or this engine has earned its keep. So we're gonna pull this engine out and we're gonna save it. I mean, we could do a couple little things and slowly make it a little faster, or we can just put in more horsepowers with a fresh 383. I want to keep the car 383, and I have a fresh forged TRW piston, ARP rod bolt, orange 383, because this, you know, used to be orange. See, there's orangeage there. And maybe we'll put some power adders on it, because we're almost in the 12s. I know if we just put a cam and intake, we'll be deep in the 12s, but what if we just did something to totally skip